Hello everyone, it's Monica, also known as Sleeved After 60, and this is my week 3 update post-surgery. So I know a lot of you are really interested in my stats. So I am, I will be 64 years old in May. I'm right under 5'5". My highest recorded weight was in this century was June of 2015, and I was 240 pounds. My lifelong highest weight recorded was 256 pounds, which I believe was in 1998. My beginning pre-surgery recorded weight at the university was on November of 2016, which was 224. Day of surgery was 198. Last week, my last week was 191.8, and this week it is 186.8 for a total of 5 pounds. So from surgery, I've lost 11.2 pounds, and from November, when I started the program at the university, it was 37.6. So there you go. Just real quickly, I did, my first goal is to get under 180 pounds. And I was trying to figure out, I had a long period, and I can't remember if it was like 3 or 4 years. I think it might have been 4 years ago. So that would have been 2014. I had 2014, maybe 2013, something like that. I had a period of recovery from my binge eating disorder, and I was taking some new medication for my anxiety, and things were sort of, my issues, my food issues, sort of, like I said, went into recovery, and kind of without doing much, I lost weight, and I think I got it to like 180 or under 180. I just know that I still have a lot of dresses from that time that I kept that are extra large. So a lot of knit dresses that I wear, that I wore, when I worked, and I kept those, and they fit just fine now. So I think I may have gotten to around there, because I think at the time, my highest was 240 once again, and for some, I think that I when asked, I think I might have mentioned to somebody, oh yeah, I lost like 40 to 50 pounds, because again, since I didn't weigh much, I got a little crazy with weighing at that time, though I have to acknowledge that, I have to admit that. So anyway, so that's a goal. I know, that everyone wants to sort of have a goal. I have 2 VSGs, not VSGs, what is it? Not NSGs, NSVs, non-scale victory, NSGs, not VSGs, NSGs. So my weight is lower than my husband's, and as you all know, I'm married 4 weeks. So as you all know, from other videos that I've made, he is not part of my eating disorder craziness at all, and he's also 11 years older than I am, and we've been together 22 years, and he's always made me feel like I'm just the cat's meow. But no buts. He always has. So, which is a really nice thing especially when you're as obsessed as I've been in the past about my weight and my looks and my vanity and all that stuff. It's great to have somebody who doesn't notice and doesn't get crazy about it. But so he had a doctor's appointment on Friday, and he got on the scale, and he's like, I think 6'1", and very, he's very lack of words, because I just think he's, you know, the sexiest thing ever at 75, and, you know, when he was 50 when we first met. And he's very, he looks very much like a college professor. You know, he has white beard and white hair. And anyhow, he got on the scale, and he was 200 and some pounds, I think. We went to the doctor on Friday, and so I said, "Oh my gosh, I weigh less than you do." And he said, "You do?" And I said, "Well, yeah, my highest weight was 240." And he just looked at me, and this is where aging is great, because people don't remember stuff. He said, "You were? I never knew that." And of course, my heart just filled, because, yeah, he doesn't. So that was number one. And I had to go back to, I hate my CPAP. Oh my God, you know, I hate my CPAP. But I had to go back to the provider because I was having problems, you know, because it's something that you wear. It's not, it's just on your nose, and it's something that you wear. Anyway, it's Darth Vader. And what I found out was that I needed a smaller mask. I needed a small mask, and I've been having a medium mask. So once again, you know, it was kind of interesting. So anyway, that's where I am. I'm getting back my energy. I'm noticing already, you know, that it's coming back. I don't go back to the doctor, I think, for another couple of weeks. So I just, you know, just been walking the dog. And it's spring in Minnesota, which means, you know, pretty soon we'll be able to do a little planting outside, which I just love, even though, you know, we live in a townhouse, and getting the patio ready, which means, you know, a lot of unpacking stuff and bringing stuff out. So I'm hoping to be able to do that. And what else? I'm on purees. I'm just not, I don't even know what to say about it, but I'm not that interested in food. And I think I had mentioned that before surgery, that since starting to take that medication, I hadn't been all that interested in food. And, you know, I had been doing, since I got treated for H. pylori, and also, you know, I don't know why I'm reluctant to say that I've been in recovery as far as binging. So things have been going well. The surgery came at the right time, you know, that I wasn't out of control. I wasn't feeling that way. So I'm just kind of sticking to, you know, I have I'm not going out of my way. It's sticking to puddings and to soup. I'm not going, you know, I'm not doing any cooking and pureeing. And even though, Michelle, you're still my puree queen, but I haven't been doing much of that, and I'm okay with it. I'm really, you know, being sure that I get the proper amount of protein that I need and all that. I'm sort of looking at this as I am, you know, just trusting the process and going along with the process. This is the best, you know, the best of, that's kind of Ralphie checking in. That's the best of the sleeve, and I'm going along with it. Drinking the liquids has gotten much better. I'm hitting it every day, and I'm not sure what happened, other than probably, you know, the actual surgery angry stomach has calmed down, so it's a lot easier to drink. I still forget, because I'm sort of like boom drinking. I still forget, and then it hurts, and it's that, you know, my poor belly. So I'm noticing aging, you know, because I mean my arms and all that stuff, just weight loss. Look at that. And, you know, I was scheduled to have my arms done before I decided to have surgery this last right after Thanksgiving, and hopefully I'll be close enough to go next, probably maybe January, because winter in Minnesota, oh my God, it gets dark at 3:30. That's the time to have, you're going to have plastic surgery to have it and be out of commission. Okay, so after having said all that, I just wanted to make a point this week about my experience with eating disorder treatment. And as you know, I've been watching some of you and people in the community. I've been following some for about a year. It'll be a year in May. And here's what, I notice how so many of you are struggling after having had 100-pound weight loss or more. And what I wanted to say, this is not directed at anyone, just in general. I'm not here to diagnose anybody. But what I will say is that what I've learned is that weight loss, or what the scale says, does not mean that you are recovering from eating disorder or you are in recovery from eating disorder. The eating disorder is there. It's just that the weight has gone down. So I think that a lot of times, it's happened to me in the past, that we lose weight and we think, oh, I've got this. And especially, if you've never thought about your weight issues as being an eating disorder and your relationship with food. So the point that I want to make is that, if you're losing weight or if you've lost weight, it gets harder because the eating disorder is still there. And I know that some of you whom I've been following are talking about getting professional help. And what I would suggest, again, this is just a suggestion, but what I would suggest is that if you're looking for mental health services, go see someone who specializes in eating disorders. Go to your local, phone book, Google, who does eating disorder treatment in your community, and get a good referral to a therapist who specializes in eating disorders, because it's so important to be with someone who has that as a specialty, and not just because they say they do, but look at their, and when you go, getting a therapist has to be a match. So go as an interview and just say, what's your experience? Also ask, somebody had a personal experience. It doesn't mean that if somebody hasn't had that issue that they're not good at it. I just think it's good for somebody to be upfront about it. And I've, my current therapist who I've seen now, through the program that I did, has never had an eating disorder. And she is very normal weight. And some might even say that she's overweight. But I think she talks about, and she's had a lot of training about it. This is not her issue, and I think that I've had other therapists years ago who was anorexic and bulimic, who when I asked, said no, and I was just pretty upset when it came up again, and she was in a crisis, because I could see it happening, and that was my issue, not hers, but it was my issue because I felt that, if I asked, I should have gotten and she apologized. But I've also, in all my years, I've gone to therapists who knew nothing about eating disorders, because listen, when I started therapy, some 40 years ago, nobody knew about eating disorders.